The AKAI MPK Mini Mark III is a killer MIDI controller for iPad music production, and it's mostly plug and play. But in order to get the best possible experience out of it, you're gonna wanna do the 5 things I'm gonna tell you about in this video. What is up, creatives? It's Jahrell, your music technologist, here to help you master the tech you need to make music freely. This video is sponsored by DistroKid, but more on that in a bit. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you get your AKAI MPK Mini Mark III is get yourself one of these. For those that don't know, the AKAI MPK comes with the USB-B port here in the back. It does come with a cable in order for you to plug it up, but I am a guy that believes in having one cable for almost all my devices, so I just keep a little USB-C cable around, and I like to plug that into whatever MIDI controller I'm using. So if you got one of these right here, this is a right angle USB-C to USB-B connector. You're all set. You can just hook up your USB-C cable into this adapter and you're all powered up. I will be sure to leave a link to that adapter down in the description so you can pick one up for yourself. So number 2, the second thing you're gonna wanna do is change the key velocity. Now, it's no secret that the MPK Mark III does not have the best key response. By default, you really have to whack this thing in order to get the high velocity response that you want. The velocity curve is pretty nice, but it's hard to get to that highest velocity. The good news is there's an easy way to fix that, and you don't even need any software to do it. So all you gotta do is press and hold this full level button right here and watch the screen, because you should see some settings pop up in just a bit. Boom. So if you look close, you can see some settings up here. So you got V1's 24.0, V2 is 6.0, V3 is 4.0, and V4 is 2.4, and the black balance is 0.7. So the black balance is just the key velocity relative to the white keys. In this case, all the keys are black, but it's referring to these black keys up here. So all we're gonna tweak is we're gonna use the K2 knob, and that's gonna change V2 there. We're gonna bring that up to about 15.2, boom, and then V3, we're gonna bring that up to 8.2, and then that should fix it. So with those key changes implemented, much better velocity response. Also, I recommend before you tweak those settings, go back and take a screenshot of the original settings so you know what to put them back to if you ever need to. The third thing you need to do is register your controller and download all of the free software. I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. So you gotta make sure you plug your controller into your computer first. Go through the full registration process. There's a card in your box that will tell you exactly how to do that. And then I'm gonna show you exactly how to get your software and samples. So once you've gone to AKAI's website and registered your device, you can download the MPK Software Manager. Once you've downloaded the software and opened it, it's gonna look like this. And these are your instruments. You can download the free instruments that come with it. These are VSTs. They can't be used on the iPad, but you can use them on your laptop. That's Hybrid, Mini Grand, and Velvet. That's also MPC Beats here. That is AKAI's free DAW software where you can start making beats and even full songs, but it's only available on the laptop and desktop, not on the iPad. You also have the MPK Mini Editor Mark III right here, which I'll show you in just a second. And then you've got these free MPC sound packs, so download all of these sound packs so you can use these. Before I give you the 4th and 5th tip, a quick message from our sponsor, DistroKid. As artists and producers, collaboration is a big part of what we do, but figuring out how to get everybody paid can be a huge pain. Fortunately, DistroKid has you covered. With Splits by DistroKid, you can add unlimited collaborators and set each person's percentage without anyone else seeing who the other collaborators are or what their cut is. Your collaborators will need to create an account with DistroKid, but they'll receive 50% off, so it's only 10 bucks. If they're slow to sign up, it won't slow your money up. DistroKid will hold it for them until they sign up. And if they never do, no worries. You can cancel their invite and reallocate their money elsewhere or collect it for yourself. Click my link in the description to get 7% off your first year of DistroKid. And when you support DistroKid through my link, You also support this channel, so thank you for that. Tip number 4, set Arpeggiator sync to external by default. Let me explain what that means. The MPK Mini has a built-in arpeggiator that you can turn on with this button right here. It's actually a pretty dope feature. But in order to get the arpeggiator to sync up with the tempo of your project in Beatmaker 3, you're gonna have to make sure you have the clock setting set to external instead of internal. By default, the arpeggiator is set to internal, and this light shows you what the tempo is and also tells you up here BPM 120, and you can tap the tempo to change it. If you set it to external, under sync here, we can turn this knob. That changes it to external. That will allow you to have your keyboard in sync with the project. The problem is, in Beatmaker 3 specifically, and this may be an issue in some other DAWs, unless you have it set to external, before you open up the app, it won't work properly. So we can change that in the MPK Mini Mark III program editor on our desktop computer. So when you open up the program, this is the first thing you're gonna see. The first thing you're gonna do is load the program you're trying to edit. The first program is this first button right here. You can hit Program Select, and we have it by default. It's gonna be set to the first one. You can change any of these other ones if you want. We're just gonna edit the first one. So you'll select Program 1 right here, and you're gonna wanna hit Receive First. So that's this R here. You click that. It retrieves the program, and these are the settings that are on program 1 on your controller. The only thing we have to change here is under clock external. Usually by default it's set to internal. We're just going to change it to external. Once we have that set, you can go back over here and hit S under program 1, that is send. That will send those settings to your MIDI controller. Once you've done that, you're good to go. You can feel free to tweak some of these other settings to your liking, but that's the one that I think is the most valuable for sure. My 5th and final tip is to make sure you map the CC buttons on this controller to the transport controls. Let me explain. Unlike some other MIDI controllers, this one does not have any transport controls on it anywhere. There's no pause, play, stop, record, loop, any of that anywhere on here. The way to make up for that is to map those same controls to the CC buttons. What are the CC buttons? If you look right here, you've got a CC button right here that changes all of these pads into buttons that you can map to something else instead of just using them as playable pads. So when you turn this off, it goes back to whatever you've mapped them to. When you turn it on, it gives you a full set of 8 controls that we can use. Let me show you how you can map those. Specifically in Beatmaker 3, this should be pretty applicable to any DAW though. So you're gonna wanna go up to the settings wheel here, hit MIDI focus actions, scroll down till you find the transport controls, here they are, and then map them to your liking. Personally, I like them to kind of mimic what we have up here at the top of the DAW. So you've got stop, play, record, and then you've got the forward, the backward and forward, and the loop. So I do something similar to that. I like to map stop to this first one right here, then I'll map play right here, I'll map record right here, loop right here, then I like to stick backward down here, forward right here, and just as a bonus, the last two I like to do previous bank right here and next bank right here, so I can switch between my instruments super easy. With that enabled, I can just hit the play button right here, get my beat right there and hit stop. That also allows me to hit record without having to press any buttons on the screen. And voila, transport controls without transport controls. Those are my 5 tips, creatives. If they helped you out, please let me know down in the comments. If you're looking for a more in-depth deep dive video with the AKAI MPK Mark III, check out my video, which I will link up here in the top as well as in the description. Also, if you want to pick up the MPK Mark III yourself, if you haven't gotten it yet, I'll drop the link down below and you can pick that up. Until next time, creatives, go make something dope, and I'll see you in the next video.